Biggest piece of advice that I would give somebody is to really focus. It's very easy to get distracted and chase a lot of different opportunities, but especially in the early days when you're starting a company, you really have to figure out your beachhead market. That means what you're going to extremely focus on, and you're going to say no to everything else. That discipline to say no to some things that may seem as opportunities at the moment, that's very difficult to develop. But it's very, very necessary, because if you get distracted and you're chasing a lot of different things, you'll never get a chance to really win that first market that you need to win. But once you do get into that market, you can expand from there.
Don't listen blindly to anyone. So the most important piece of advice to entrepreneurs is don't listen blindly to anyone's advice. Nobody knows exactly how to build a business. And the best practice is to speak with as many people as you can. Always listen, never argue, but then go aside and do whatever you think is the right thing to do, because none of your advisors, investors, your parents, your accelerator mentors, nobody knows exactly what you need to do.
The most important piece of advice I would give to an entrepreneur is energy flows where attention goes, which somebody said to me once when I was talking about focus and priorities. And I think having gone through this loop myself, I think the hardest and most important thing is working out where to spend your time and working out where to spend your energy. Whether it's in terms of hiring, whether it's in terms of getting the product to market, whether it's in terms of corporate partners, it's all about controlling yourself. Everything else will follow.
The best piece of advice I can give an entrepreneur is to absolutely listen to everything that's being told to you. It's hard because you get so many different pieces of advice, and they can be contradictory. So it's a difficult thing to do, but take on board what people who have been through that journey can tell you, and then take the time to think and make your own mind up about what it is that you really want to do.
The most important piece of advice that I'd like to give to any entrepreneur is to realize that, unfortunately, the entrepreneurial life is not as rosy as it's often described, and it's going to be it is difficult. And so although the younger generations are jumping into startups as opposed to joining more corporate world, as people used to do during my times, it is tough, it is difficult, it is a lot of commitment, personal, financial, family, friends. And so once you're in, it's also very addictive. So once you're in, it's hard to get out, and there is no really way back. So you need to be really motivated by what you do.
I think the most important piece of advice to give an entrepreneur trying to sell to the public sector is to make really smart use of your networks. Use as many people as you can to reach as many people as you can within the public sector. There are lots of decision makers, there are lots of influencers in the public sector. The decision-making process is not always smooth or clear, but make sure that you're really getting in there and you're getting face time with right up through the echelons of public sector hierarchies.
It is very hard to raise any amount of money. If you're trying to raise £100,000, hard. You're trying to raise £100 million, no harder. So think big, don't think small.